In this video, we're going to do a deep dive on everything we know about the next Dragon Age game. We'll be taking a look at details like potential release date, what type of game to expect, and possible story details. This will come in two flavors, details that are 100% confirmed, as well as some informed theories and speculation. So buckle up, grab some iced coffee, and get ready to talk about Dragon Age 4. What's up, everyone? Big Dan here. I make videos about RPGs like Mass Effect and Dragon Age. I explore hidden scenes, rare choices, lore videos, and guides. So if you want to see more RPG content, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos. Without further ado, let's dive right in. So let's begin with a question that's on everyone's mind. When is Dragon Age 4 coming out? When can we actually play this game, you know? BioWare and EA have not announced an official release date thus far, but we have evidence suggesting that the game is likely slated for a late 2023 release date. In an EA earnings call last spring, the company suggested that Dragon Age 4 wouldn't be released until at least fiscal year 2023, but they haven't spoken about a specific release window since then. However, Jeff Grubb, a well-known games insider, stated in February that Dragon Age 4 is still at least 18 months out from today, so not early 2023, maybe late 2023. Maybe. That seems to be the earliest you can begin to expect it, he said. He added that overall they are hitting their milestones and where they're supposed to be in development, and the game is on schedule. While Jeff doesn't work at BioWare, he has a solid track record of providing accurate information related to projects at their company, among others. Along with Mr. Matty Plays, he was the main person reporting on Mass Effect Legendary Edition before the remaster had even been announced. So while we should take any reported rumors with a grain of salt, we can also be relatively certain that this timeline is probably accurate, given the source. BioWare also confirmed that they are on track with development in a February blog post, stating, "For the next Dragon Age, we are right in the middle of production, which is a great feeling. Our blueprint was completed last year, so we're now focused on building out our vision, creating amazing environments, deep characters, strong gameplay, impactful writing, emotional cinematics, and much more. The blueprint for the game is well understood, and the team is focused." So it's looking like a late 2023 release date is possible for Dragon Age 4, but given the ups and downs of development and other factors like staff turnover and remote work, it's also possible that the game will be further delayed beyond 2023. We can't say for sure right now. Dragon Age 4 hasn't had the smoothest development cycle to say the least. The project has changed gears several times since BioWare first began working on it back in 2015. The game was originally dubbed Project Joplin, and it was intended as a smaller scope game focused on more reactive storytelling to player choices. In this version of the game, the player would have been a spy in the Tevinter Imperium, completing heists and making other big story choices that would create branching narrative paths. This project was eventually scrapped, and the team shifted focus, with direction from EA, to make a live service Dragon Age game. It was jokingly dubbed Anthem with Dragons. But given the massive failure of Anthem and BioWare's overall live service model, the studio shifted focus yet again to making a single-player only Dragon Age game. And that's where they are today. Dragon Age 4 will be single-player only. All the multiplayer and live service elements have thankfully been cancelled, allowing the team to focus on creating a game that targets BioWare's core audience, single-player RPG fans. But aside from massive changes in scope, BioWare has also seen the departure of a number of key staff from the Dragon Age franchise since the release of Inquisition back in 2014. Lead writer David Gator, creative director Mike Laidlaw, general manager Casey Hudson, and executive producer Mark Dara all no longer work at the company. Most recently, Dragon Age 4's creative director Christian Daly left BioWare after 4 years at the studio. So a lot of the key players who shaped Dragon Age into the franchise we know and love today are no longer working on this game. That being said, there are still some OG BioWare devs kicking around the studio working on the next Dragon Age game. Just to name a couple, Benoit Poulier is director of product development, and he's worked on every Dragon Age games, including Origins. Patrick Weeks is lead writer, and they were majorly involved in writing Dragon Age Inquisition. BioWare is eager to prove they're still capable of crafting top-tier single-player RPGs, and I'm hoping they can deliver. So now that we've covered release date and development thus far, let's talk about the setting and possible story for Dragon Age 4. The game will take place in the Tevinter Imperium. This has been confirmed by several sources, including the Trespasser DLC, the trailers for Dragon Age 4, and other statements from BioWare. So let's take a quick look at Tevinter's culture and society, since this will give us an idea of what we can expect from the setting in Dragon Age 4. First thing to know is that Tevinter is a society ruled by mages. This is a unique phenomena compared to many other places in Thedas, where mages are basically locked away in towers, patrolled by Templars and the Chantry. But as Dorian informs us in Dragon Age Inquisition, not all mages in Tevinter are created equal. There are several different layers of social strata in Tevinter society. The governing body is called the Magisterium, a senate-like organization of appointed political figures, all of whom are mages. The Magisters are the most powerful people in Tevinter. Mages who aren't Magisters often take up other bureaucratic roles in society, like accountants and that sort of thing, but they aren't nearly as powerful as the Magisters. Of course, not everyone who lives in Tevinter is a mage. People without magical abilities make up the Soporati, or Sleepers class of society. Soporati can own property or serve in the military, but they have no real say in how Tevinter is governed. And then there are slaves. Slavery is legal and officially sanctioned in Tevinter. We bump into a number of Tevinter slaving operations in the Dragon Age franchise. Terran Loghain provided elven slaves to Tevinter in exchange for a war chest in Origins. Our Dragon Age 2 companion, Fenris, escaped slavery in Tevinter to chart a new life in Kirkwall, and Dorian tells us how his family owned slaves in Dragon Age Inquisition. There are a wide range of living conditions for slaves in Tevinter, depending on who is their master. Some are treated well and live relative lives of comfort, but others are horribly abused by sadistic magisters. It will be interesting to see how BioWare tackles this sensitive subject matter in the game. Another unique thing about Tevinter is that blood magic is widely practiced. While they would never admit to this publicly, it's basically an open secret in Tevinter society that nearly all magisters engage in some sort of blood magic. It's kind of like steroids in professional sports. All the top-tier athletes use them, but if you ask them point blank, they'll deny it. Moreover, the line of what is considered blood magic is different in Tevinter. Most magisters will say that adding a drop or two of blood from themselves or a willing donor doesn't constitute actual blood magic. It's more the human sacrifice element that is considered taboo. I remember discovering a Tevinter notebook in Dragon Age Inquisition called Responsible Blood Magic, which discussed how this power could be harnessed in a quote-unquote safe way without risk of demonic possession. This is starkly different from Ferelden and Orlais, where all forms of blood magic are illegal and extremely frowned upon. Blood mages are typically hunted down and killed, and accusations of blood magic are used to justify civil rights abuses against mages in general. We see this very clearly in Dragon Age 2. So hopefully the blood magic specialization will return for mage builds in Dragon Age 4. It's going to be really disappointing if I can't tap into that power on evil playthroughs. Aside from Tevinter, we may also spend some time in Antiva as well. There were a few shots of Antiva City and the Antivan Crows in the last Dragon Age 4 trailer, though we can only speculate on what role they will play in the game. I can envision a globe-trotting game that sees us investigating events in Antiva and Tevinter though, since that's basically what happened in Dragon Age Inquisition with Ferelden and Orlais. If you want a detailed trailer breakdown, I highly recommend Lady Insanity's YouTube video, which I'll link in the description. She's done some excellent analysis and shot-for-shot breakdowns of the trailer. So we know the game is going to be in Tevinter. What else do we know about Dragon Age 4's story? I'm about to dive into spoilers for Dragon Age Inquisition's Trespasser DLC, which is basically the prologue of the next game. So if you haven't played Trespasser, I highly recommend coming back to this video later, unless you just don't care about spoilers. Anyhow, the two characters we know will be returning for sure in Dragon Age 4 are Solas and Varric. We still don't know the exact role that Varric will play yet. He was a companion in both Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition, but since Trespasser, he has become Viscount of Kirkwall. We know he'll want to stop Solas's plans, But will he be a direct squad mate again, or something like an advisory role like Liliana and Morrigan played in Inquisition? In any case, he narrates the trailer, so it's safe to say he's coming back. The Trespasser DLC revealed Solas' true identity to the Inquisitor and set him up as the primary villain for Dragon Age 4. In short, Solas is Fen'Harel, aka the Dreadwolf, an elven god who created the Veil, separating the real world from the Fade. This also banished his people to a realm known as the Beyond, and caused the downfall of the elves. Now Solas wants to tear down the Veil to bring back his people, which will likely cause the destruction of the physical world, since demons and spirits will no longer be in a separate realm. Solas has all the ingredients to be a dynamic villain, and if BioWare does this right, he might even become the greatest video game villain of all time. He started as our companion in Dragon Age Inquisition, hiding his true identity and his connection to the breach in the Veil. He came to respect the people he met and takes no joy in carrying out his plans. He's regretfully trying to destroy the world, as he believes it's the only way to save his people. This makes his motivations much more interesting than your typical baddie. At the end of Trespasser, we can tell Solas that we will redeem him, or that we'll stop him. This suggests the potential for at least 2 narrative paths for Solas. Perhaps there will be a redemption arc where you can convince Solas to abandon his plans, or find another way to achieve his goals without destroying the world. And maybe the other path is the I'm going to kill Solas path, where you destroy him to save the world instead.
It is Solas not killing Solas. I'm killing Solas.
So will the Inquisitor play a major role in Dragon Age 4? I strongly suspect that we will have a new protagonist, especially considering Varric's line from the trailer.
It's time for a new hero. No magic hand.
Every Dragon Age game so far has started with a new protagonist, so I think that's a safe bet. That being said, I still think the Inquisitor can and probably will play a major role in the plot. Perhaps they will be an advisor, sort of like Hawk was in Inquisition. Maybe you can even bring them along as a squad mate, though that may be difficult considering they're a little, short-handed at the moment. In any case, it will likely be a new configuration of people who will oppose Solas. The Inquisition is basically kaput at this point. At the end of Trespasser, we are given the choice to either disband the Inquisition or pledge its service to the new Divine, effectively making it a part of the Chantry. There are 3 potential candidates for Divine: Liliana, Cassandra, and Vivienne. So just from the messiness of continuity, I cannot imagine the Inquisition or the new Divine will play a major role in the next game. It's just too messy of a thing to write all the different outcomes for that. Moreover, Tevinter has its own Chantry with its own Divine, so Divine Victoria, whoever she may be, has no power in the country where the next Dragon Age game takes place. That being said, many of the individual characters who were a part of the Inquisition may return and continue working to undo Solas' plans in Dragon Age 4. I strongly suspect that Dorian will play a major role in this game, either as a direct companion or as an advisor. At the end of Trespasser, he returned to Tevinter and became a Magister, taking his father's place in government.
My father is dead. Assassinated, I believe. I received notice this morning. A perversely cheerful letter congratulating me on assuming his seat in the Magisterium. I can't wait to degrade the Magisterium with my presence. A new outfit is required.
And then what?
I find my father's killers and kill them back. Then I find those giving Tevinter a bad name and kill them. They're most likely the same people, so that should make the job easier.
Suddenly, Dorian is a powerful player in Tevinter, and along with his friend Maevaris Talani, he created a reform faction in the Magisterium known as the Lucerni. There is an interesting quote from Patrick Weeks in one of the Dragon Age trailers that may tie into this plotline.
For the game we're working on now, we want to tell a story. What happens when you don't have power? What happens when the people in charge aren't willing to address the issues?
Ah yes, Reapers. The immortal race of sentient starships allegedly waiting in dark space. We have dismissed that claim.
In Dragon Age Inquisition, if you play through Dorian's war table operations, you'll learn that his friend Maevaris didn't have a lot of success pushing for reform. Even her simple act to publicly condemn Corypheus' Venatori was defeated in the Magisterium, and a major smear campaign was run against her. So perhaps our new character will work with the Lucerni in some fashion to convince powerful people in Tevinter to help fight against the Dreadwolf. One more thing we know from Trespasser is that the Qunari once again declared war on Tevinter after the Vidasala was unsuccessful in defeating Solas. So I imagine that the Qunari will play a big role in the plot again. I hope that Iron Bull will be in the game, though that might be unlikely considering how he's either effectively exiled from the Qun or gets killed in Trespasser, depending on your choices. I just like Iron Bull though, man, so I want to see him again. What other characters might make an appearance in Dragon Age 4? This could be an opportunity to bring back Fenris. At the end of Dragon Age 2, he didn't seem dead set on staying in Kirkwall. Perhaps he'd like to return to Tevinter to try to free other slaves. That might be a stretch, but there's certainly an opportunity for BioWare to create a compelling reason to put him in the game. A lot of fans really liked Fenris and would like to see him return. The presence of the Antivan Crows could also be an opportunity to bring back Zevran. Last we checked, he was still crossing swords with the Crows in Dragon Age Inquisition, so it wouldn't be a stretch to bring him back. Just saying. I'd also be curious to see if Calpurnia makes an appearance in Dragon Age 4. She had a very interesting backstory in connection with Tevinter, and I feel like her character was underexplored in Inquisition. Basically, if you don't remember her, Calpurnia was a Venatori agent and Corypheus' second in command if you sided with the Templars. She was a former slave in Tevinter who Corypheus recruited to be his vessel. However, unlike Samson, she was distrustful of Corypheus, and when confronted at the Temple of Mythal, the Inquisitor could expose Corypheus' betrayal and convince her to abandon him. Even if you declined this route and tried to kill her, she threw herself off a waterfall at the end of the fight, which means she probably survived, so maybe we'll bump into her as well. I could go on with more theories and speculation, but at this point I've covered all the things we know for sure about Dragon Age 4. I'll be making more videos about the game as we learn more and get closer to that 2023 release date. So there you have it, everything we know about Dragon Age 4. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to Big Dan Gaming for more Mass Effect and Dragon Age videos. Also, shout out to all the channel members for supporting my content. Until next time, this has been Big Dan. I should go.